So I know I already made like a Yap session about the Nintendo Switch 2, but I also just kind of wanted to make a quick little video about like some of my extended thoughts about it and kind of how people have been responding to it and everything. I know people are pissed about like the $80 games, and it's like, hey, I'm with you, games should not be that expensive, but are we really surprised here? Nintendo will try anything they can to get away with charging you more money. Like, it's why we have all this proprietary bullshit. It's why they don't put their songs on Spotify. They put their songs on Nintendo Music. No, it's why we didn't get voice chat until this long. Ultimately, Nintendo is a very backwards-ass company, and even with the high prices and everything, I'm still excited for the console. Am I gonna get it at launch? Probably not. The earliest I can imagine getting it is probably around the time that Donkey Kong game comes out. I think that out of everything releasing on the Switch 2 around its launch year, that and some of the Nintendo Switch 2 editions, that is what I'm looking forward to the most. And if I'm gonna be honest, it was inevitable that we were gonna have to pay $70 for Nintendo games eventually. And listen, I don't like that it's become the standard, but it is. And just here's the thing. Other countries have had to pay let's take a look at Australia, for example. They've had to pay hundreds of dollars for games for years. And let's even take a look at Canada. For the longest time, full price AAA games, they were $80 over there. I think it was inevitable that, Americans were finally going to have to pay up. It sucks. It's a harsh reality, but it's just the truth. I don't really know what else I can say further. It's I think some of the people that are complaining should probably go ahead and take a look over at, as I mentioned, Australia, Canada, and even some Middle Eastern countries, countries where there are higher import taxes and everything and stuff, Brazil, for example. Games have always been super expensive over there. Gaming has always been kind of a luxury. That's why over there for the longest time, they were all about the Sega Master System and the Sega Genesis because they couldn't afford it. And the PS2, but I just wanted to fart out some of this opinions and shit. Because I just kind of hear a lot of people immediately saying they're not going to buy one. It's and hey, if you don't want to buy one, that's fair. I think you have the right to not spend your money on something you don't want to. I think the real issue here is that people are more upset about prices increasing across the board for everything, and now the one thing that gave them an escape from that is also becoming part of the problem. I feel like that's where most of the anger is coming from. And you know what, I'm just gonna say this, a lot of people saying they're not gonna buy it at launch, it's I feel like most of you probably will buy it eventually. Because I think you're gonna realize and accept that, this is the future, this is how things are gonna be. And I just want to say this right now. I don't agree with $80 games. I don't think $70 games or $80 games are a good thing. I think it's important to understand that this is just how things are. It is what it is. And you just kind of have to accept it at some point. Alternatively, though, I think this would be a good opportunity to maybe pick up some indie games, give them a try. Because they're made by people who are super passionate about the gaming and the gaming industry, and video game design and everything, and art and all that stuff. And they're also, usually pretty, dirt cheap. You don't really need to worry about, taking out a second mortgage in order to pay for them. God, this is even more of a Yap session than some of my other Yap sessions. This was super fucking incoherent. But if you enjoyed it, if you watched through the whole video, which I seriously doubt that you did, but if you did, yeah, I love you. Goodbye.